everybody! Happy Thanksgiving! Thanks for stopping by, Wild Bird Creative. I know a lot of people have living rooms that are full of company or are on the road driving to places, but I'm fortunate I am home and I'm not having a crowd of people. So I thought there are other people out there that might be looking at YouTube today and wishing there was something new that they could do to get creative, either while they're waiting for their company or while they're waiting for their Chinese takeout. I mean, however you celebrate is fine. If it's two friends and you have tea and cookies, that's excellent. It's about the togetherness, not the table groaning with food and all the dishes that need cleaning up afterwards. Anyhow, I've got a 6x6 piece of paper here. I have my Stencil Girl stencil. It's the same one I used, just a project or so ago. It was still out, and I was like, you know what? I really like that one. I want to use it again. It's S260 if you're going to go on their site looking for it. And I just mixed up a little bit of silver and black. And all I'm going to do is just come around the outside edge of this. I'm not doing the whole stencil. And that's because the center part is going to be covered anyhow, so I'm not going to bother with the middle. And this lightening of the black with a little bit of the metallic silver just keeps it from being too heavy. You can certainly use whatever color you want. If you don't have this stencil, you can do any number of other stencils and just go in a circular pattern to get the same effect. You just have to be a little more careful. That's all. Okay, let me hit a couple other spots here and let's see how it looks. Yeah. That's what I wanted, a very, very soft effect. And I didn't want to have any real bold color. I wanted just a nice gray, but this one has a little bit of sparkle to it. So there we go. Let me set this aside. Make sure I remember to clean that. Let me move this out of the way just so it can dry and bring in this. This is just a piece of Beethoven sheet music, and all I did was just use my palette knife and drag some paint across it. So I've got a bronze, a cranberry, hooker green, ivory, and kind of a maize color. And that's just to kind of mimic the colors that are outside right now. And I've got my cutting tool here. You can use whatever you have. You can trace the bottom of a bowl. You can free cut a circle. It doesn't even have to be a circle. You can do a heart. Let's see, did I get this loose? Yes, I did. So there it is, just a nice piece. Let me get this out of the way. Bring this back. And see how nicely that's going to sit right in the middle there. And just with that little rim around it. Okay, just get some glue on the back of this. Bring it all the way around the edges. I'm just going to fiddle with it a little tiny bit just to get it where I want it. There we go. And run the brayer across. there we go. That's the start and almost the finish, really, because from here, it's just a matter of keeping it real simple and deciding how I want to embellish it. Now, I know I want to use this great seal that I pulled off something. I don't even recall what it is, but look at how great that is. It's just got a little bit of embossing to it, nice bit of shimmer. I can put it almost anywhere on here and it will have a nice effect. But before I do that, I think I do want to add a little bit of a heart here in the middle. And what I'm going to do with this is just come in with that little bit of paint that I had left and just go gently around the edges. I'm going to want to be really careful with this. I think I'm going to use, I'm debating if I want to use the edge of this and maybe trim just a little bit off, giving myself a different shape. Let me get a little bit on here and just feather it around. And I'll want to do this in stages so that I can decide when I think it's enough. This is just a heart that I drew on some Mylar stencil and just cut out, and I kept the guts so that I'd have a mask for when I wanted to do things like this. And you could do this on another piece of paper and just cut a heart and lay it on top. I just want to do a little bit of masking. Bring it up here. And I think what I will do is I will turn this so that I'm not trying to awkwardly reach around the other side. I'm not very ambidextrous, so that could spell disaster. It could spell something amazing, but I'm not feeling like taking the risk today. Okay, so let me lift this up. Get a spot here where I can get my nail under it. And see where I want a little bit more, which is right up here. And I think that is good. It's a nice soft edge. Okay, move this to the side. And there we go. I've just got a very delicate heart. And I think this needs to go here maybe. You know, now I'm not even sure I want to use that. Maybe I want something a little subtler. This is what happens when you start creating. You start thinking of different ways to do things and how you can mix it up a little bit and make it interesting. You know, let me dump all my little bits and pieces out and we'll go from there. I've got my shapes dumped out here, but you know, I'm just not really that crazy about adding these to this. So, changing directions, which is a nice thing to be able to do. I've got a gel pen that's got some glitter in it, and I'm just going to come along the inside of the heart in different spots. I'm going to do it with a few colors just because I want to have a variety in here. and because I want to be able to have it stand out in spots against some of the other colors. Just to add an accent. Why not, right? You can do whatever you want. Anyhow, so I went through all my circles and they just didn't feel quite right. And as I was sorting things, I found a thank you note that my grandnieces had sent me for a Christmas gift, and I liked the note card, so I kept it. And there on the front was the perfect bit of text. So here we go. So I've got that light outline, and then I have every shade of grateful. Exactly what I wanted. Let's put this one down here. There, a little bit of glitz, a little bit of text. I think I will put it towards the middle. Make sure I put the top on this, and I'm going to lay this down and roll it so that I don't end up smudging the drying pen. Then I think along the outside, I'll grab my Sharpie. This is a fine-tipped one. And just highlight this a little bit. I don't want to get into doing too much because I think it stands out pretty well on its own, but this softens it a little bit. So there we are. A quick Thanksgiving piece. Simple, simple, simple. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps really. Dig through your greeting cards. If you hang on to them, you may find the perfect sentiment. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I hope you enjoy yourself, whether you are doing your own thing, hanging out with friends, or hosting family. Thank you for stopping by Wild Bird Creative.